Hi, I'm Robin Schultz with the Hoover Channel. Don't forget to hit subscribe so you'll always know when we have a new video coming up.
So now we'll begin our mayoral portion of the forum tonight, and we're thankful to have both Frank Brocato and Nick Derzis in attendance with us. To both candidates, your willingness to put yourselves before the voters of the city of Hoover is a true testament to your desire to serve and lead your community. We're excited to have you both here tonight. We're glad that we've had a good turnout so far. It's been a respectful night. The timing has been great, so I hope that we can continue to remain respectful throughout this portion of the forum as well. Let me explain the format for this portion. Each candidate will be asked the same questions and given 3 minutes to respond. The sequence for answering questions will rotate alphabetically. Neither of the candidates have been provided with the questions prior to the event. The candidates will respond to these questions in this alphabetical sequence, with each candidate alternating with responding to the question first. The rotation sequence will continue in this fashion to the end of the question and answer portion of the mayoral portion of tonight's forum. In the interest of time, there will be no opening statements, but we will have the opportunity for each candidate to provide a closing statement at the end. These closing statements will be no longer than 3 minutes. Josh Patton will continue as our timekeeper and provide each candidate with a countdown during their answer by holding up a card indicating the time remaining. So now we will begin the mayoral portion, and we will start question 1 with Frank Brocato, followed by Nick Derzis. Now welcome to the stage, Frank Brocato. So our first question tonight is, what, in your opinion, are the priorities and responsibilities of the city of Hoover's mayor?
Well, thank you first for everyone showing up tonight. This is a great event. I congratulate our city council candidates who have had an opportunity to share with you this evening, and now we will have an opportunity to share with each of you what we have on our minds. And thank you to the groups that are putting this together. We're grateful for that. So the duties and responsibilities of the mayor, our number one duty is public safety. That's what we're here for. All the other things are absolutely important, but public safety is our number one priority. The city of Hoover was founded on public safety. Back in 1962, the Hoover Volunteer Fire Department started. One of the members is back there in the corner, as a matter of fact. And from that point on, that's what our city was focused on, was public safety. The little volunteer fire station was the city hall. It was the place for the city clerk. Everything was the focal point of the community. So public safety is the most important thing that we do. And we focus heavily on that each and every day in our city. But there are other things that we want to do that are equally important. That's quality of life. And that's extremely, so what does quality of life mean? That means that we want to make sure that we have great neighborhoods that are safe, that are taken care of, that are vital, and you see home values going up. You want to see that we've got schools that are wonderful and top rated, and that our kids are graduating at the top and doing an outstanding job once they leave. You want to see that our retail centers are vibrant and that people are coming to shop, and that we have opportunities for our folks our citizens all across the board to enjoy that great quality of life. And we do a wonderful job in the city of Hoover with managing that. And I'll just, give you an example. I had Greg Powell that came to me and said, Frank, we don't have an HOA in our city, in our neighborhood. You've got all these new neighborhoods and they've got, abilities to correct things, and when the grass is growing or there are cars that are not running or the houses are not being taken care of. We don't have that advantage here. We need something from the city to help us. So we went back to our city planner, we went back to our attorneys and our city council and said, how do we help our folks? Well, what we did, we passed legacy zoning and we passed resolutions and ordinances for maintenance responsibility. And now today, we can go in there as a city and work with those neighborhoods and make sure that they can continue to remain vital like they are. If the grass is growing and they won't take care of their property, we go and try to find out what's going on. If they have a car that's not running and sitting there, we go in there, and if they don't get it running, we make them move it. These are things that we do to make sure we keep the value of our homes up and make sure that they enjoy the same quality of life that folks that live in a community that has an HOA. And then, another story I can tell you about.
We got the end of the first 3 minutes.
Okay, and where's the 2-minute guy? I missed it.
It's right here.
Oh, hey, how you
All right, now we move on to Nick Derzis, and we'll pose the same question. What, in your opinion, are the priorities and responsibilities of the city of Hoover's mayor?
Well, I think the priority of the city's mayor is to leadership that is proactive and accountable to you, the citizens. Right now, the city looks very, very tired to me. And when I announced my candidacy at Pat Creek, it was because of the empty storefronts. The Galleria is just an embarrassment to drive through. I almost lost a tire driving through it the other day. And those are the type of things that we've got to do a lot better job, be proactive. And as mayor, the mayor talked about leadership and schools. People move to Hoover for 2 reasons: because we're a safe city and because we've got outstanding schools. He talked about priority is safety. Safety is a priority. I've been the police chief for 20 years, and I've built a team of individuals. We've got made one of the safest cities, not only in Alabama, but definitely in the Southeast. But one thing the mayor did tell you was that last year we had to cut operational costs 10%. It cost us almost $90,000 to the police department, fire department, not just public safety, all over the city. So we start talking about that everything is great and we've got plenty of money. I just say to you that we've got to do a better job. We've got to do a better job of planning. $90,000 coming out of the police department and the new budget that's come out, they did not give us the $90,000 back. I think all of us know that everything is a lot more expensive today than what it was. We've got contracts that increase on a yearly basis, and sometimes it's just a little bit tough to get it done. So the priorities for me will be leadership, will be proactive, will be transparent. We've got to get the city going. It's an embarrassment to me that everybody talks about Alabaster, talks about Trustful, talks about all these special things that have taken place all over the community. We were the standard of excellence, and when I'm elected mayor, we're going to get the standard of excellence back to Hoover, Alabama. People used to emulate what we did, and now everybody's emulating other places. And within 5 years, or at least 4 years within my administration, I hope to see that other cities are starting to emulate exactly what we used to do and be proud to be partners with Hoover. I'm somebody that built on relationships. You can't run a police department today without relationships. You can't run a police department today without being proactive and change with the times. And we've done a great job with the police department, and we're going to do the same thing with the mayor's office. Thank you.
Right there. I can score go to question 2 now. Like a big Deion sign or something. We'll go to question 2 now, and we'll start with Nick Derzis on this one. If you were elected, what specific skills or strengths do you possess which you believe will benefit the city of Hoover?
Well, I'll go back to my leadership skills. Again, being a police officer for over 40 years, being a police chief for over 20, when Mayor Kellis appointed me. You know, I've led the largest department in the city. We've had the largest budget. We've been very proactive. It's something that we're very, very proud of as our community. When we catch a bad guy doing something, that if there's 2 of them, one of them will say, "I told you, let's not go to Hoover," and the other one would say, "Well, I thought we were in Vestavia." So when I say those things, it's something that a skill set that I think was instilled in me as a young child. My dad was a colonel in the military, and to show you the strict upbringing that I had, when we lived in Fort Hollywood, Maryland, he was the commandant of the United States Army Intelligence School, answered the telephone, quarters 13, Nick Derzis speaking, and I was in 2nd grade. So I would say that I was instilled service to community. My dad did 32 years of active military, so I didn't want to do the military, so I've done like 43 years as a police officer. So again, the skill set that I bring, again, I would say is leadership skills. I'm somebody that has great relationships, and when I see relationships, I've got relationships with not only municipalities, with county, with state, with federal. When I see the money that Huntsville gets, it's just unbelievable. I just think we can do a better job of being proactive and meet our legislators, meet our U.S. senators, meet our Congress people, and prove what we can do in the city of Hoover. The NCFI down in Valley Del Road, which is the Beautiful Forensic Institute, is just a perfect example of something that's come to Hoover, only one in the United States. And there's no reason we've got 350,000 square feet of office space available right now. We're like going down to the Harvard Center and looking at that Harvard Center and it'd be completely empty. I think with the type of things we've done with NCFI, there's no reason why we can't attract maybe some other government agencies that come to Hoover. Thank you very much.
Now welcome back to Frank Brocato. We'll pose the same question. If you're elected, what specific skills or strengths do you possess which you believe will benefit the city of Hoover?
Well, I'm a proven leader. I've been here, I've been in the trenches. Of course, I spent 42 years in the fire department honing those skills. In the last 8 years, I've been the mayor of this city, and I've led through some incredible situations, from social unrest to COVID. And we led, and we did that, and we did it with distinction. But let me just say, I'm proven. When I came into office, you just think about this. Was Hoover better off 9 years ago than it is today? I say no. Let me just share with you why. When I came into office, there was a terrible relationship with Hoover City Schools. I built that relationship back, and now today we give them almost $9 million in support. We added SROs to every school. They didn't have SROs in the schools, but we were able to put those in there. I have a relationship with our teachers, our principals. I meet with them each and every year to try to understand what's going on there. You think about crime. When I came into office, out of the fire department into the mayor's office, the crime for the previous 2 administrations was the worst it had ever been in the city of Hoover. 2016, we turned that around through leadership. We added 33 police officers to our force. We built a $4 million training center so our police officers had the absolute best training that they could ever get. We have the most modern equipment. You walk into where we provide equipment, it looks like something you see in New York City. Those are the kinds of things that we do. I provided leadership that has guided our council to make our employees and our police officers some of the highest paid in the state of Alabama and in the entire Southeast. Those are the types of things that I've done to lead this city to make it what the great city it is today. So I'm tried and true. I've got the experience, and it's and I need to continue that, and we need to continue everything that I've talked about. And just think about the other things in terms of leadership. Certainly the schools, certainly the crime and public safety. But what about our economy? All the things that we have done. We open a business in the city of Hoover now every 9 days. That's incredible. We've diversified our economy from Highway 280 when you had empty storefronts, 5, 6, 7-story buildings that were empty. Now they're vibrant. They have a new mission. They're technology companies. Those are the types of things that we're doing. I'm not providing leadership to keep up with Alabaster or Mountain Brook or Gardendale. I'm providing leadership to compete with Nashville and Greenville and cities like that in Auburn that are bringing those types of opportunities to our citizens so that we will have a strong school, a strong economy, a safe neighborhood, and a great quality of life. Thank you very much.
We'll now move on to our third question of the night, and we'll start with Frank Brocato. And that question is, what plans, if any, do you have to help attract more businesses into the city of Hoover?
We have an incredible economic development team. We have become involved not just locally, but through the entire state of Alabama and the nation. Our team is engaged, they're focused, they're brilliant, and they're very hardworking. And we've put together an economic development plan that has, as I talked about, let's move across our city and just tell you what was going on. Again, just talking about 280, all of those office buildings out there, no direction, they were empty, thousands and thousands of square feet empty, from Meadowbrook to Inverness. We had vagrancy there, we had grass growing, no mission whatsoever. We came in, we diversified our economy. We said, we're not going to just be a retail industry, we're going to be a diversified economy that attracts STEM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Now you look at Meadowbrook, you've got all these great buildings that are being filled. You see the parking lots full with McLeod Software, Lake Home Realties. Move down to Inverness, really a tough story there. Abandoned buildings, no life whatsoever. We went in there and worked with a developer and took over 3 of the largest office buildings, and now it's going to be a live, work, play. Absolutely incredible model. And then you look at some of the businesses that we've attracted down there into Inverness. Bassmasters could have moved anywhere in the country. That's their headquarters now. Those are the types of things that we're doing. We're not relying just on retail. We're not relying on big box stores. We're relying on bringing in companies, headquarters companies, that bring great paying jobs. Move down into River Chase, the same thing. We've got a great vision with Riverwalk, a $2.5 billion projected economic impact. We didn't just make this up. We had studies done before we went into there. When we talk about the NCFI, we're building on that, and we're going to take that from an organization. It's the only one in the country like it, where they train police officers, Secret Service agents, district attorneys, and judges. They train them right here in Hoover, Alabama. They bring in about 5,000 a year here now. Well, we got a grant from the United States government for $20 million, and we're building a new building down there that will expand that to almost 8,000 to 10,000 students a year. Just imagine what that does. They stay anywhere from 1 week to 5 weeks in our city, and they're filling up our hotels, and they're in our restaurants every day. That is leadership. That is developing an economy, and that's exactly what we're going to continue to do. And I haven't even told you about sports tourism. I'm saving that for last. Thank you very much.
Now welcome back Nick Derzis, and we pose the same question. What plans, if any, do you have to help attract more businesses into the city of Hoover?
Okay, first of all, I just want to say that the mayor said that when he became mayor that the police department, our crime statistics were bad until he became mayor. That is incorrect. If you look at our city, it has been in decline. When you look at Patton Creek and you look at the Galleria, we've got to start focusing on strategic planning to be able to attract national good retail to our city. When I hear the administration say that Amazon and the things that have taken place around the country have had an effect on people shopping and going to stores, I would disagree, because my wife drags me to the summit on a Saturday and I can't get a parking spot. So I say to you that if you attract the right stores, we can obviously have our own summit. Obviously, the Galleria Mall is not just a problem when you talk about malls in Hoover, Alabama. It's a problem all over the country. And that is something that day one, I'd be talking to them all, regardless of, you gotta get on an airplane and go to talk to somebody, to talk about what we can do to revitalize. We've got to be able to talk to our citizens. We've got to talk to you and find out exactly what you want to see. What type of stores do you want to see? And there's no reason in the world we've got 100,000 cars coming by the Galleria and Patton Creek, 459 and 65, 100,000 cars a day, that we can attract a better store, national retailers. We've got to get better restaurants. I make the comment all the time. If safety is a factor, most people in Hoover drive to Birmingham on a Saturday night or Friday night to eat at their great restaurants. Why are we not attracted to those? So I say, if you get a great development team, which the mayor says we have, and I think we probably do, but I think we can do a lot better job of attracting good stores, decent restaurants, fill these storefronts up. As Christy Driver said, let's use some of our money to incentivize getting some of these storefronts filled up instead of always focusing on new development. And the other thing I'd like to say, I would love to see a pathway into Hoover. When you come from Vestavia, we've got a gas station that's been there for 10 years that's never been open. All you see is concrete. You go to different cities, when you drive in, they've got flowers. It is an inviting looking place. And I think we can do a lot better job, and I call it the pathway to Hoover, and I'll be talking more about that. Thank you.
We now go to our fourth question of the night, and we start with Nick Derzis on this question. In your opinion, what are Hoover's biggest economic strengths and weaknesses, and how do you as mayor plan to take full advantage of those strengths and help those weaknesses?
Well, the economic strengths, I would say, are the citizens of Hoover, the small business owners, the people that have opened businesses here because they love our city. There's so many people that have been knocking doors and talking with our citizens that have lived in Hoover for some 5 to 10 years, some for 20 and 30 years. And there's nothing better to see somebody like these individuals like recently at Knox Square that have opened up businesses. And I think it's the type of citizens that we have. Citizens want to live here, they want to buy here, they want to grow the city, they want to make sure that we've got recreational activities, which I think we can do a little bit better job. We've got fantastic, as the mayor talked about, he's got some things to talk about with the sports facilities. We've got fantastic sports facilities. When you see the Hoover Met money that we've spent, I think we could do some better job of making sure that we can make that more of an economic impact on our city than it is today. We've got the SEC baseball tournament, which has been fantastic. We've got Hoover High School football that's there. We've got a rodeo for a couple of days. We've got some baseball teams that come in. But I think we do a better job of developing that and really do a great job to utilize and I think monetize all the athletic stuff that we've got in the Hoover. I don't think anybody in the community other than downtown Birmingham has anything like what we've got. But when you start talking about things that have been neglected, you know, when we talked about the stormwater issues everybody's talking about. That's one of the reasons that I got into this race. I heard people come and talk about the problems that they've got in the city every time it rains. I've been a 30-year resident, and all of a sudden they build something, and I've got a raging river in my backyard. And all I heard from the mayor's office was, that's private property, we can't help you. And to me, if rain's coming down the city street and it ends up in your backyard, maybe we have some sort of responsibility. And when I become mayor, we're gonna do a stormwater master plan. We're gonna get experts from around the state, southeast, around the country, whatever it takes. But we cannot continue having the issues. Our infrastructure is getting old. Our infrastructure wasn't made for the type of water that we've got today. Our roads, the impact on our roads, the impact that it has on our schools, we've just got to do a lot better job when it comes to those things. And again, day one as mayor, talk about stormwater, that's day one. Thank you.
Welcome back, Frank Brocato. And we pose the same question. In your opinion, what are Hoover's biggest economic strengths and weaknesses, and how do you as mayor plan to take full advantage of those strengths and help those weaknesses?
First of all, I shop and I eat in Hoover. That's the main thing I do. But I'll tell you, our strength is the diversity of our economy. That is our strength, and that's what we've worked on for 9 years. Again, we have opportunities out there that we've taken advantage of, from the Highway 280 corridor all the way down to Highway 150. And I was mentioning to you, the strength of us is that we do have the opportunity to build on the STEM industry. We do have the opportunity to build on the retail industry, and we're doing a great job with that. And we have an opportunity to build on tourism. So 9 years when we came into office, we got a $70 million debt, an empty baseball field with really no vision on it, and a $70 million debt to build a building, but no vision to go with that. So we took that and we ran with it. Within 18 months, we built the Finley Center and all of those fields out there. And over the next 9 years, we built an incredible tourism economy in the city of Hoover. The Hoover Met now is vibrant, it's alive, it's well. We have over 750,000 people come from all over the world to Hoover, Alabama to play in sports or go to different types of events in our city. I was talking to a lady the other day that had her son playing in the East Coast Pro. I said, where'd y'all come from? She said, we came from Boston. We come here every year. We love Hoover, Alabama. We're an example to everyone. Anyhow, we have so many people that come to that facility that it is driving the economy on the western side of Hoover. We've got 4 new hotels going, either built or under construction. It has a $90 million economic impact on the city of Hoover. We took something with no vision, we built it to one of the greatest tourism events and complexes in the state of Alabama. I was talking with the coach of the Vanderbilt Commodores, the baseball coach, who's won a few national championships, actually played in our championship this year, and he said the 2 greatest venues in college baseball is the Hoover Met SEC and the Omaha World Series for college baseball. Now that's coming from a guy that's won national championships. That's the kind of business that we've built out there. We've held the World Games. We had Japan and the United States playing for the gold medal. The place was packed. 3 weeks ago, we had policemen and firemen from all over the world here in Hoover, Alabama, competing against each other. Those are the types of events that we're bringing. This weekend, we've got East Coast Pro, the top high school baseball prospects in the country are here performing before 150 National League Pro baseball scouts. That's what we're building in Hoover. That was the thing I wanted to tell you about. Tourism is alive and well in the city of Hoover. Thank you very much.
We now move to our fifth question of the night, and we'll start with Frank Brocato. If elected, what are your plans for transparency with the public to ensure open government and trust of the citizens?
Thank you. You know, when I came into office, we were the first administration to video our meetings. The very first one started back in COVID, carries through today. So you can go online and you can watch our zoning board meeting, you can watch our council meetings. You can go onto our website and you can see how we're spending our money. We have our open checkbook there. You can look at that and see exactly what we're doing. You can go on our website and you can see what capital projects we have and see where we are, where those are in the pipeline, so to speak. You can see our budget and what we are budgeting for. All of those things are there for you. And then in terms of transparency, we are all over the city each and every day. I'm in neighborhoods, I'm in the garden clubs, I'm in the HOA meetings. I'm there with my staff, and they can ask anything they want. You know that every city councilman has an opportunity, a standing appointment, to come to my office, or we will go to them, the whole staff, and we'll share with them everything that we know. Every Monday morning at 10 o'clock, I have a staff meeting, and every major project that we have, we go over that, and we keep notes on it. You know what happens to that spreadsheet at 3 o'clock in the afternoon? It goes to the city council. They know everything that's going on. That's transparency. They know everything that's going on. We're going to continue to do those types of things, sharing all the wonderful things that are going on in our city. And when we do things like our comprehensive plan, we didn't just put that together. When we did, we went out into the neighborhoods. We asked them, how do you want your city to look? We didn't just put it together, we got together to do that. That's something we had to sit down and got input. When we had the Interstate 459, that's the interchange we put, that's a big deal to a lot of people. We held town hall meetings and answered questions. We made sure that everything we do is open and transparent, that we are allowed to do. Some things you cannot, you have to protect. They may be personnel, they may be financial, they may be legal. So every organization operates within the law, and that's what we do, and that's what we'll continue to do. Thank you very much.
Now welcome back Nick Derzis. We pose the same question. If elected, what are your plans for transparency with the public to ensure open government and trust of the citizens?
Well, we'll start talking about transparency. Number one, the mayor talked about the Finley Center. 9 years ago, he ran against the Finley Center. I think it was Schultz talked tonight and said that one reason that individuals in Hoover were their biggest concern with government is transparency. You know, transparency starts with action. I'll restore live coverage to our citizens to be able to sit home and watch the city council meetings. Even when the mayor talked about that we were live streaming, when it came down to the questions and answers, that's never been live streamed. No one was ever able to see it. You know, I've never seen the mayor step up for the citizens that come up and ask questions. They don't get any response. And I just think, as the mayor, instead of just dismissing everything as a special interest, transparency, it's your government for the people, by the people. And I will say that under our administration, we're not going to hand city councilors contracts at the last minute. They're going to be well involved in all of our processes. They're going to have complete, not incomplete, information. I've said all along, we're going to hold regular town hall meetings, at least quarterly, 4 times a year, so we can hear what the citizens want, what kind of ideas they've got, what kind of complaints they've got. We've got to listen and get communication from our public and understand their responses to the issues. When people feel informed, included, trust grows. That's how you get transparency back. And I look forward to the day that we can trust is built by inclusion, and that's exactly how I'll go.
That brings us to our sixth and final question of the night before we move on to closing statements. We'll start with Nick Derzis. Tell us about a time when you witnessed or were part of a situation that tested your integrity, and how did you respond, and what principles guided your actions?
I'll go back probably maybe 20-some odd years when I was the acting police chief in the city of Hoover, and there were some individuals that obviously were concerned, didn't like me, jealous, whatever the scenario was. But all of a sudden, we had a federal investigation, state investigation, from revenue investigation, and it appeared that I was the target of the investigation, so I was put on leave. And for many, many months, sitting at home, not knowing what's taking place, is certainly not an easy thing for someone to do. And at the end of the investigation, and again, when I say federal, state, IRS, they looked at everything that I'd ever done. They looked at all of my IRS. They looked at, talked to neighbors. I was literally looked at from top to bottom. And I'm proud to say that I'm probably one of the few people that after it was all said and done, they found nothing, and I came back to work. A lot of people couldn't say that. And I would say to you that my faith in God, the integrity that I had as a child, that my father instilled in me, I knew that I hadn't done anything wrong. But I also know that sometimes things can be made up, and all of a sudden some good people sometimes take a fall for something they didn't do. And that was always a concern for me. But I'll say that my faith kept me strong. It was not an easy turn in my life, something that probably made me stronger. But again, not many people I think could have been scrutinized as well as I was to say, hey, this guy's never done anything wrong. We apologize, go back to work. Thank you.
Now welcome back Frank Brocato. We'll ask the same question. Tell us about a time when you witnessed or were part of a situation that tested your integrity. How did you respond, and what principles guided your actions?
About 2 years ago, we had an opportunity to do a development in our city, and it was bad for our city. It was very bad for our city. And I recommended to the city council that they not support that. And I was put under a lot of pressure by a lot of people to accept that deal. But one day it went too far. We were working on a certificate of need for the city of Hoover to get a healthcare facility. It just so happens that there was another interested party that was working on a certificate of need as well, the same type of healthcare facility. And one of those persons, lieutenants, came to me and said, if you will give us the deal, we want to oppose your certificate of need. And I said, I'm not doing that. I'm absolutely not doing that. That's the wrong thing to do. 3 days later, they did exactly what they said they were going to do. opposed our certificate of need. So I stood on my values that I have been taught my entire life by my mom and my dad, reinforced by my family, reinforced by my faith in God. It was difficult. I was attacked. Still under attack for it, but that's okay. I stand for the city of Hoover, and I'm not going to sell this city out. Hoover is not for sale. Thank you.
That concludes the question and answer portion of the mayoral forum. Thank you both for your transparency and your openness in your answers. We now move on to our closing statements, and we'll start with Nick Derzis.
Thank you. I've worked for the Hoover Police Department for over 40 years, the last 20 and a half as your police chief. I'm married to Stephanie, who's out here. She's an interior designer, small business owner in the city. I've had 3 children that graduated through the Hoover school system. The job as police chief has helped me prepare myself for the job that I'm seeking. Again, I've led the largest department in the city. I've managed the largest budget. I've been involved in every critical decision dealing with the Hoover Police Department for over 20 years. And I was reminded today of a breakfast that I had with then Superintendent Robert Bumpus in 1994. Some of you probably weren't born. Went to breakfast with Dr. Bumpus. And I had this idea that I took to him and said, Dr. Bumpus, Hoover High School is going to be a big high school. How about the thought process of maybe putting a police officer in there, not only in those days for safety, but really to be able to mentor young people, have that connection. Kids want to see a police officer in uniform. When I was young, you were told if you saw a police officer, that's the guy that you went to if you got lost. Well, obviously, the breakfast went well. I could tell we wanted an armed police officer about thinking. But we ended up agreeing. And obviously, we've got one of the best SRO programs in the country. They're at every school. We're very, very proud of that. But the leadership that I'm going to bring is transparent, accountable, proactive, not reactive, and something accessible. I'm a planner. If you fail to plan, your plan fails. Leadership that involves city councilors early in the process. We'll hold town halls, as I said earlier. Trust by inclusion. You know, we all should be concerned about the ballooning debt. We've had $90 million worth of debt since 1920. And my opponent says all the time that I'm supported only by special interests. I've been endorsed by Hoover City Council Councilors McClinton, Middlebrooks, Sweeney, Posey, Jefferson County Commission President Jimmy Stevens, Jefferson County Commissioner Mike Boland, former Mayor Tony Patelis, former Hoover Executive Alan Pate, and the Alabama Attorney General Steve Marshall. And these are the special interests. The special interests does they want me to succeed. They want me to make Hoover Hoover again. I currently have the greatest job in the world. I work for the finest police department in the world. I work with the finest police officers in the country. I love my job, but also love my city. And that's why I'm running. I want to make Hoover Hoover again. Vote Derzis, August 26th. Appreciate it.
We'll now hear from Frank Brocato in his closing statement.
Well, thank you all for coming in tonight. It's been very enjoyable. So, you know, I spent 42 years with the fire department and had some incredible opportunities watching this city grow and being a part of that growth. Nick was part of it as well. I give him that credit. But now I'm the mayor. I've brought stability, leadership, and a proven record. There's been a lot of negativity in this race, but I believe most of the people sitting here, most of the people watching tonight can cut through the noise and let's see the real results that are going on here. You know, there's a lot of people throwing stones. We've built a stronger, safer, and a more vibrant city together. We've grown our reserves. When I came into office, there was $32 million in reserves. We have over $80 million in reserves now. We have the highest bond rating that you can possibly get. I think maybe 3 or 4 other cities in the state have this bond rating. We add a new business to our city every 9 days. That's just cutting the ribbons. That's not all the businesses that are open. That's just how many ribbons we cut every 9 days. We've added 33 police officers to our police department. SROs, when I came into office, every school did not have an SRO. We changed that. That just was absolutely something I couldn't stand for. We've revitalized our neighborhoods. We've developed a comprehensive plan that allows us to go in and help those neighborhoods become vibrant. And that's why the Birmingham area realtors have supported me and endorsed me, because our home values are going up. That's exactly what we're doing. But just think about this. We've revitalized Bluff Park. We had 2 shopping centers up there. One is a tale of 2 cities. You had a developer, an owner that wanted to do something, one that did not want to do anything. Now you've got this beautiful shopping center up there that's walkable, has meeting space, a new Piggly Wiggly. Same thing, Highway 31 and Warner Road. Shopping center, one of our aged shopping centers. What's there today? Trader Joe's. That comes with hard work. That was over 3 years of work trying to get that great store. And they could have gone anywhere in Alabama, and they came to Hoover, Alabama. We developed a comprehensive plan. It's a footprint for the next 20, 30, 40 years for our city. And it's not something that sits up on the shelf. It's something that our zoning board and our city council and our city planner follows each and every day. When developments come there, they come there with thought put into it, how it affects our school system, what it's going to do to just our traffic, all of those things. We've got Interstate 459 shelved 10 years ago. We've been working on that for 6 years now. We've addressed traffic. Those are the types of things, the vision that we have. And let me just say one other thing. In the last 8 years, over 25 times, a half a dozen national publications have named Hoover, Alabama, one of the best in so many different categories, I can't name them all. The best city to live in, the safest city, the cleanest city, the healthiest city, and then we got the best one of all, U.S. News and World Report. The #1 city in the state of Alabama is Hoover, Alabama. I appreciate your vote.
Thank you again to both Frank Brocato and Nick Derzis for joining us tonight, as well as all of our city council candidates, and for your willingness to share your vision for the city of Hoover. I also want to thank our collaborative partners in the Hoover Area Chamber, as well as the Shelby County Chamber. But finally, and most importantly, I want to thank everybody that is here tonight. When you look back at the 2020 elections, voter turnout across Shelby County, including Hoover, 20% or less. I was looking back at those numbers the other day. This is the time. It's your voice, it's your city, it's where you call home. This is your chance to make a difference. So we appreciate y'all being here, taking the first step in that process. We hope you found the program informative and encourage you all to participate in the election on Tuesday, August 26th. Thank you.